Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
We're following breaking news at noon as Tom Brady has made it official. The former Michigan Wolverine is retiring from the NFL. We'll tell you what we're learning. Plus, the Pfizer vaccine for children under 5 could be available by the end of January. But first, Brandon is tracking the potential for measurable snow this week. You can see it coming on this weather model there. We've got the timeline for you now at noon. The weather, of course, topping our news at this hour. Thank you for joining us. I'm Evrod Cassamy. Now, before we talk about the snow, we got to turn our attention to today's forecast as we give you a live look outside through our sky cam, our Windsor sky cam at that. Meteorologist Brandon Rue joins us now with what we're expecting, although everybody is anxiously anticipating your details about tomorrow.
Right, and it will be a very active Wednesday and Thursday, but today, I'll tell you, wild swings really stack up like nowhere else here in Michigan. It is just crazy. We have 40 degrees Howell and Pontiac, 40 in Monroe right now, middle upper 30s elsewhere, and we're 10 to 20 degrees warmer than we were at noontime yesterday. One thing to watch is the wind, which will make it feel about 10 degrees cooler. Still heading into the low 40s through the afternoon, and the clouds will increase and thicken. The winds also on the increase, occasionally gusting 20 to 25. But rain chances will be phase 1 of this winter storm coming, starting as rain after 4 or 5 p.m., but probably more widespread after 6 or 7 p.m. You can see the rain showers coming up from the south ahead of the Arctic front. And the winter storm watch will be upgraded to a winter storm warning soon for all of Wednesday and Thursday. But in the meantime, early tomorrow, we'll start the snow, and through the early afternoon, about 5 inches on the ground. The afternoon and evening will bring us to about 9 inches. A little lull first half of Thursday, and then the second half of Thursday, a handful of snow inches more. We should be over a foot. Your local forecaster's app is the weapon and tool to get you through any weather event or storm. And that box in the middle, that QR code, makes it simple. You can hold the camera of your phone right up to that, and it will get you right to the local forecaster's app, which is 100% free. Evrod?
All right, Brandon, thank you so much. And thank you for the heads up. In anticipation of the impending snowstorm now, Detroit Public Schools Community District Superintendent Dr. Nikolai Vitti says the district will be shifting to virtual learning and will not cancel class. In the meantime, people are preparing for the winter weather. They're grabbing groceries and gas, filling up their vehicles. This is a video of a gas station in Dearborn. That's where we find our Sean Lay. He joins us now live this afternoon. And I understand that you spoke to a number of people. What are they saying in anticipation of the snowstorm?
Great to see you, Evrod, at this noon hour. I want Brandon to know we were just talking about the sunshine here and the warm temperatures, but when that wind kicks up, it is cold if you are about to head out to the grocery store. We're in Dearborn right now, right along Michigan Avenue. You're probably aware of this particular Kroger gas station right here behind me. Always a popular spot because of price. It's at $3.35 right now, much higher actually up the street. Some crazy gas prices, but as you can see, very busy. People we're talking to were asking, are you here for the price or are you here in preparation for the storm? Let's show you some video. Our cameras here all morning long, talking to folks like Christine from Dearborn. She's 75. She went inside Kroger to get the necessities that she needs for her and her family the next couple of days, then came right over here to fill up her tank.
I need to fill up everything in preparation for the snowstorm. I need to fill up my tank. I've just been to Kroger's, so I've got my extra points, so that'll help me out with the high cost of gas right now. So I'm going to be prepared so I can just hibernate during the snowstorm.
That sounds pretty good, hibernating during the snowstorm. So Christina's ready. I asked her, since she just came out of the Kroger, what's it like in there? And she says it is just like the day before Thanksgiving. Evrod, we're going to head across the street, head on in there. We're going to be all over Metro Detroit today looking for if people are lining up for gas and people are going inside to get the milk, bread, and eggs that they might need for the next couple of days. Back to you.
Yeah, we'll check in with you a little bit later this afternoon, Sean, and see what you found. People there at Kroger's, Myers, and everywhere in between. Thank you, Sean. Of course, you want to stick with us here at Local 4 and click on Detroit.com for comprehensive storm coverage throughout the day and the next couple of days, in fact. Let's get back to this breaking news now that everybody has been anticipating and anxiously awaiting, but it is now official. Tom Brady is hanging up his helmet. Today, the NFL quarterback announced on Instagram that he is ending his 22-year football career at the age of 44. The three-time MVP has set records for the most touchdowns and playoff wins over his career, many of which may never be broken. Last season, Brady led the Bucs to their first Super Bowl victory since the early 2000s. And then before that, the former Michigan Wolverine spent 2 decades with the New England Patriots, leading the team to 6 Super Bowl titles. So big congratulations to him. Well, children younger than 5 years old could soon be eligible for a COVID-19 vaccine. Pfizer is expected to seek an emergency use authorization from the FDA, and that could come as early as today. Now, this would be a 2-dose vaccine for children 6 months to 5 years old. Sources say that Pfizer is still testing whether 3 doses would be effective or would offer greater protection for this age group. The federal regulators reportedly encouraged the company to seek the authorization as they continue to collect more data. Now, they're hoping the EUA can be granted by late February. Also making vaccine headlines for you today, Novavax has asked the FDA to authorize its protein-based COVID-19 vaccine. This one is for adults, and the vaccine is already available for use in at least 170 countries. But if cleared for emergency use here in the United States, it would provide an alternative to the popular mRNA-based shots from Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna. Now, for certain groups of people, particularly young men, the mRNA vaccines carry a slightly elevated risk of a heart condition. It's called myocarditis. Novavax's vaccine has not been linked to this condition. The vaccine could be authorized as early as February. In other news this afternoon, a teenager is in critical condition after being hit by a car in Warren. It happened early this morning on Van Dyke in between 8 and 9 Mile. Police say the 15-year-old boy was running across the street across Van Dyke when he was hit by an SUV. The driver did stop, and police are investigating, but they do not believe the drugs or alcohol played a role. And a woman is found in extremely critical condition in the parking lot of a Detroit school. Police say the woman was spotted near Fisher Magnet Upper Academy, right near 7 Mile and Hayes on the city's east side. It happened before the start of school just yesterday. They say that they've not said how she was hurt, and they're still trying to identify this woman. The Detroit Public Schools Community District says the campus is safe, and this is not related to the school. Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson is asking the Attorney General to look into comments that were made by a Livingston County candidate for state Senate. How will Republican Mike Detmer encourage voters to, quote, show up armed and, quote, be prepared to lock and load to protect poll watchers? Now, he made the comment at a campaign event for Ryan Kelly, a candidate for governor, and it came after somebody suggested Republicans had been pushed out of the TCF Center in Detroit, where absentee ballots were counted after the presidential election. Detmer says that he was specifically answering a question about vote counters, but Benson says that this sounds like a threat to voters.
I think that when you're arguing or threatening to intimidate voters with actionable specifics, that law enforcement absolutely needs to investigate to ensure, again, that we're doing everything we can to protect American citizens when they go to the polls in any election from any threats or fear of harm.
Election officials have said only a limited number of observers were allowed in the TCF Center because of COVID restrictions. Now, we are reaching out to Detmer for comment. We're going to have much more in our later newscast right here on Local 4. All right, so to come here at noon, powers clash at the UN Security Council as Moscow's troop buildup continues near Ukraine. We've got a report from Kiev after the break.